Hello dear students and welcome to lesson 7. First of all, congratulations for coming so far. Yesterday we focused on how to mold the front part of a slightly curved focal, but we kept a flat back. Maybe you were wondering if it is possible to mold the front and the back of a piece, of an interesting looking piece, to get a mold to make a beautiful polymer clay pieces. I'm going to use this crystal with an interesting pattern on the back and on the front. I'm going to mold it, and then we'll have to mold molds like these ones. So in order to be able to mold this crystal, I have prepared some scrap clay that I have previously conditioned, and then I cut the clay in half because I'm going to need part of the clay for the bottom, and the other part I'm going to use it for the upper part, for the front. Then you will need 2 pieces of cling film, and I will start by wrapping the crystal in cling film. Then I will take the polymer clay. I will flatten the clay using my fingers, and then I will just press the crystal into the polymer clay, while in the same time I'm pushing the clay upwards, and I'm applying a lot of pressure on the crystal because I want to have the interesting lines of the crystal impressed into the mold. So for this technique you will have to imagine that there's an imaginary line in the middle of the piece that you are molding, and then you will have to use your sharp rigid blade to remove the excess clay, meaning the clay that is above the middle of the piece, because we are going to make a second mold that is going to sit on top of this one, and you will have these 2 molds, they will join, let's say, in the middle. I removed part of the excess clay. I'm working a little bit more on the mold, then I'm removing more excess clay. Don't worry if you cut the cling film while removing the excess clay. It's okay, because in fact we are going to apply the second cling film on top of the crystal to prevent raw polymer clay to be in direct contact with raw polymer clay, so you don't have to worry if this film is, I don't know, you cut it in some areas, which I did. So I'm making sure that I will have a good impression and that I'm happy with the look of the mold for the bottom of the piece. Then I unwrapped the film and I put the second cling film on top of the crystal, and now I can use the scrap clay to mold the front of the crystal as well. So again I'm using my hands to flatten the polymer clay, and then I'm going to press the crystal into the polymer clay, and in the same time I'm using my hands to push the clay all around the piece that I am molding. I'm taking a look at the sides, and I want to have the sides as aligned as possible. I'm applying a lot of pressure to really have a good impression of the piece that I am molding, and then you'll just have to unwrap the cling film and to gently remove the piece from the crystal from the polymer clay molds. So you'll just have to remove the cling film and then take a look at the molds to see if you are happy with the look of the molds, if you're happy with the impression that you've got. And then if everything looks alright, you can bake your pieces for 40 minutes at the temperature recommended by the polymer clay manufacturer. You'll have to let the polymer clay cool down, and then you can use these molds to make beautiful polymer clay focal pieces. And I don't know, you could fill these molds with marbled clay or with scrap clay, on which I used the swirl technique in the demonstration that I'm going to make for you, to have an idea of the result of the molding process, and how you can use these molds to make interesting focal pieces. So I will attach a link to the swirl technique, but in order to explain it to you quickly, because I don't want to make this, I want to keep these lessons short, and I want to concentrate on how to make and how to use molds, so I don't want to digress too much. But this swirl technique means that you are using polymer clay in several colors, and you roll the clay into a ball, and then you'll have to use an acrylic block or a flat piece, and then you'll just have to gently and slowly, not like I'm doing, but slowly, you'll have to roll the ball against your working table. And if you take the time to do this, you will notice that little by little you will have a swirl design appearing under your eyes, I don't know. And the more you roll it, the more beautiful it gets, the design gets. And I thought that this technique, but I don't know, a very variation of the swirl technique would look nice with this. And then I'm going to use this piece that I have rolled for I don't know, several minutes to get this pattern. I applied water as a release agent in the molds, inside the molds, and then I formed a little bit the polymer clay to have the shape of the mold, in which I'm going to use it to make a focal piece. Then I applied the second mold. I used a lot of pressure to make sure that I will have a nice impression on the focal piece. You might want to use your blade to remove the excess clay, but anyway, after removing the piece from the molds, we are going to use the flexible blade to remove the excess clay. Then you will have to gently and carefully remove the piece from the molds, and you might need to use a piece of fabric to remove if necessary, and you don't want water inside your polymer clay. So water is a great release agent for these molding techniques, but you will have to be very, very careful to remove the water after the molding process. So as I said, then you'll just have to use your blades and remove the excess clay and make sure that your focal piece looks nice. So I'm working on the sides of the bead, and if you decide to use this technique and make beautiful focal beads with the swirl technique or with marble clay, or I don't know, using techniques to make faux stones, and of course you have plenty of other possibilities. Keep in mind that it's better to use gloves when working with this kind of focal, because you are applying your fingers a lot on top of it while cutting the scrap clay and while rolling it with the roller. So it's better to use gloves than having to sand a lot your pieces after baking them. So these are the finished pieces, and as you can see, they have a slightly curved, and they have an interesting pattern on the back and on the front. So the back is not flat like for yesterday's pieces. And I strongly encourage you to keep in mind this technique, and you never know when you will have an interestingly looking piece that is interesting on both sides, and you could try this molding technique to replicate that shape and size and use it to make beautiful polymer clay pieces. So this was today's lesson, and thank you, and I'll see you for tomorrow's lesson.